Hello, I'm Kavita Sarangan. I'm going to give you a book talk today about this book called Falling Up by Shel Silverstein. Um, have you come up with a poem of your own? A limerick, a small, simple rhyme, maybe? Well, the author of this book, Falling Up, is Shel Silverstein, as I just said, and he has written over 400 of them in his career. He was an American cartoonist, children's author, poet, songwriter, and playwright, and he's best known for his light verse and quirky cartoons. Um, he has written famous books such as The Giving Tree, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and A Light in the Attic, just to name a few. You may have heard of those as they're pretty famous. The book of poems that I'll be reading today, again, it's called Falling Up, and it has 144 poems, and it's illustrated by him as well. So this book is filled with poems, and the charm is that each poem is, for the most part, short and written in simple language. Um, and you might think that each poem is connected to each other or it has some flow throughout the whole book, but it doesn't. And they're all standalone poems, and they're fairly short. And almost all of them are rhyming poems. I'm going to give you an example of a short one, which is simple, and it's called The Mummy. I'm going to show you this because you can see the illustrations as well. His cartooning, it's kind of quirky, like they said. And there's the poem, and the poem goes, just to give you a flavor for what his poems sound like. This is The Mummy. It says, wrap myself in toilet paper, head to toe to tummy. Wrap myself in toilet paper, thought that I'd be funny. Wrap myself in toilet paper, thought they'd call me mummy. Wrap myself in toilet paper, they just call me dummy. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. Um, most of his like this one, most of his poems depict a certain humorous situation or it's descriptions of somebody in a unique circumstance or something like that. They're lighthearted and they're easy to read and understand, and all of them practically rhyme. And like you can see, they have great illustrations too. So I showed you the illustration of the mummy. So I'll show you some other illustrations later, just so you have an idea. And give some of my impressions about the book, I felt that the number of poems and their contents show tremendous imagination on the part of Shel Silverstein. And the number of poems is so numerous and it's mind-boggling that a topic is not repeated twice. And although the poems don't appear to have great depth, they're deceivingly clever in their view on a situation encountered in real life. He sheds a lot of light on, not sheds light, but he showcases the situation in such a way that it's both humorous and it's um, very clever at the same time. As the poems are in short, simple language, the poems are easily approachable by young persons, and children will probably find them very funny. Um, One of the other things is that some of the poems had rhymes at the beginning of the line, and some in the middle, and some in the end. He explored a great variety of ways in which to create rhyming poems. And I'm going to read another poem with rhyming words at the beginning and end of each line. And this one is called Ooh. This one's called Ooh. And you can look, it's got a small illustration there on the side with a little finger. And I'll just read that to you. It says, I went to the petting zoo. I petted the baby new. I petted the cute cockatoo too. I petted the kid kangaroo roo. I petted the owlet too woo. I petted the skunklet too pu. Then I did what one should never do. I petted the tigerlet too ooh. Won't somebody please tie my shoe? Boo hoo. So that's a rhyming poem where you can see in the beginning and the end there is rhymes. So basically what I would say to close up is to say that his poetry collections have helped children develop an appreciation for poetry. Um, Even though his poems show an understanding of common childhood anxieties and wishes, they still instilled, they still had children appreciate poetry despite all those more serious verses. And I think children will reach for this book again and again for the pure fun of it. It's humorous and it describes people and animals and situations that are relatable to everyone, and it's simple to read. This book of poems is a little bit silly, but it's perfect for young children and old alike. And all said and done, who doesn't like a little silly in their lives? Thank you for listening.